Hiya, hiya, it's Joey Reynolds with the Reynolds Wrap. After Christmas, we're going to return all the shows that we've done. Yeah, wish we could take them all back, huh? But I'll tell you, this is everybody who's ever wanted to be on television is on TV anyway. Andy Warhol, years ago, the famous artist who painted a soup can and became the art genius of the century, just about, he said everybody will be famous for 15 minutes. And then, I think combined with the song by Sly and the Family Stone, where everybody is a star. Now everybody's a star and we're all famous. Everybody's on social networking. And what social networking people don't realize is that they get their news from media. See, so you're not really original when you are, social network is not original. Social network is an imitation of whatever you got from somewhere else, which usually is from the media that doesn't have the support it used to have with the reporters and journalists not being there, because people are not coming to work like they used to because they want to get paid. That's why. And they try to, big companies, cut back on employees and make more profits on the bottom line. They even have come to the point now where they've figured out what they do with returned merchandise from people who are gifted and didn't want their gift. We used to re-gift it. You take it and you give it to someone else. If you didn't want it, you pass it along, or else it would go to Goodwill or Salvation Army. But not now. Now they organize it. They got it. They sent it back to this company that thought, hey, let's put this together and we can repackage it and we can put it together the way it was and we can sell it again and get another. That's how Marshall's, I think, is. Marshall's in those stores, they take lots of things that didn't sell. But these are things that are returned and people didn't want, and they put them together and they do this. The most valuable gift is a used Lego, because the used Legos are worth more than the new Legos. They have a value on them. People are collectors, see? And they want to have those things. They want to have the original Legos. And all this television stuff this week on regular TV is out being hosted by the secondary team, the B team, because the big shots are all out. And I got the bird here. Now she, I think, wants to do the show without me now. It used to be that I had a co-host, but now I got someone who wants to do the whole thing. Yeah, come on, that's it. I know, I understand. Yeah, she's in the wings. All birds are. I shouldn't say wings, I'm from Buffalo. All right, now listen. I got to tell you how slow the workforce is in this country. I don't need to tell you too much about it, except all the airlines are in trouble with pilots not wanting to be there. The only pilot that gets there is the ones that are on Netflix. There's no pilots that anybody is going to be taking to terms or task, because the pilots don't want to be bothered with all this nonsense. Some don't want the vaccine, some don't want passengers who don't have vaccination, some don't want to be around for the action of the crowd at Christmas time. Some people say, when they get this all settled out, call me, I'll come back to my regular job. Because it's very difficult for a guy to walk through an airport if you're a pilot and look for good food. Sure, it's not on the plane. No, they got to eat, and they're not having good lives like they were. You have a six-figure job, and you want to be able to enjoy yourself, not just show up every day with like this and fight with people who want to be masked or not be masked or whatever it is. Speaking of masks, the most popular film in the history. Now, everybody had movie theaters written off a couple of years ago. This. All AMC and everybody was, they had a death wish on them. But now the Spider-Man, I forget what they call it, Spider Time or something. It just did $1 billion. Now, when I worked on Star Wars, we never thought we had $1 billion picture. We knew that we had about 5 releases that were ahead of it. But it took off like a rocket. And speaking of that, we got that binocular that's up in the sky now. They've been working on it for about 5 years. It's that microscope that it intensely can pick up planets and stars and organisms from 1 million miles away. And all we're going to do is the same thing we always do, is admire whatever we can't have. You're going to pick a planet and you can't have it anyway. It's not for sale, It's the one thing nobody can buy. So the bird wants to, this is a hostile takeover at Birdland, So what else are they going to tell you? Oh yeah, I went to Little Italy for, this is how light there are on help in New York. This is how little people want to work. I went over to La Mela, which is one of my favorite restaurants because my picture's on the wall and I usually sit under it and admire me. Peter Wheatfall from Samsung and my daughter and Michael Bublé and all Judith Reagan, and we are all the Lamella celebrities, and Cha-Cha, who owned with his wife the Oliva store on Mulberry and Grand. It's the oldest cheese store in the world. So I went over there this is how bad things are. I went over to the Oliva store and I ordered brajol. This is what they gave me. You want it? Go make it, because ain't nobody gonna cook here today. That's how bad things are. Hey, nobody starved this Christmas. The only thing that we did this year that was bad was we thought everything was cool, and then now we all gotta be careful of everything again. And I remember what was the doctor that was very famous? Dr. No, was it? We have Dr. Fauci. They ought to do a show about him, like the evil doctor, Dr. Fauci, who directs everybody into this pandemonium and has all of these little minions around him, presidents and governors and mayors. I think we have to have some Fauci series on Netflix now, the Fauci story. Well, we have Dr. Oz, we got Dr. Ed, now we're going to have Dr. Fauci. We have Nurse, what's her name, and Judge Judy, and we got Jerko Joey. I don't know, what's my title? Don't give me a title. I don't think I want to hear it. All right, so it's time for you to stop chewing on the show. See, when she thinks that I'm going too long, she starts to cut me off. This is like a censor bird. They need one of these over at NBC. All right, I've had enough of me today, so I'll see you on YouTube, which is the Late Joey Reynolds, and on Facebook, which is the Late Joey Reynolds on Facebook, and that's where I died. Where's the one where I come back to life? Is on YouTube. That's when I have the best of, and I got all those shows. Oh, the Spider-Man, when I had the show in Times Square, in the window of Times Square at NASDAQ building on NBC's